Hi, welcome to another episode of Bethany Talks About Stuff. I'm your host, Bethany Aftervores, author of the Sea Dressing Chronicles, available from Amazon. In this episode, I want to talk to you about the new expansion for Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. And the 2.0 update, which I'm going to treat together because they came out very close together and they're intermingled, and I did not play them separately, and so I don't remember what goes with what. You can go look on the CD Projekt Red website and see what's different if you want. I don't know. Sorry. I guess if I was better at this, I would have thought to keep all that separate. Yeah, I didn't plan that out well. In any case, I have thoughts about both the expansion and the update. I have a lot to say. I'm shooting a little bit from the hip this time. I won't even go into why. I am. Sorry. Hopefully, I'll still cover mostly what you're interested in knowing about. There's probably not going to be as much gameplay in this episode as normal with a review, just because, again, I'm kind of having to shoot from the hip. But I did want to share my feelings, because I have a lot of them.
I just have a lot of feelings.
So if you're thinking about getting Phantom Liberty and you want some, advice or, want an opinion about whether or not it's worth it, here you go. I'm going to give you my opinion. For this video, let's start with the pros. The game needed an overhaul, actually. And so I think this was a very big pro. The combat was overhauled, so there's a new skill tree. There's a new set of cyberware. The whole cyberware, it's all different in that you cap out on what you can do. Where it used to be, you just go buy your cyberware. If you had the skill points, you could do it. But now there's like a cap. You have to level up to a certain point to have enough cyberware. If you have too much cyberware, it just won't work. Your body can't handle it. There's a new gauge for the armor. Some of the controls were different too. That was actually a little bit distracting, and I actually had to go into the settings and change the controls back to the original controls. And there were a few things from the original controls that you couldn't change back, but they were actually improvements. For instance, on the Xbox Series X, if you wanted to skip through dialogue, you'd have to hit B, but you also use B to crouch. So people would be talking to me and I would keep crouching while they were talking to me when I was actually just trying to skip the dialogue. Now you hit the side thing on the T pad. So well done. Like that better. Also, honking the horn is X instead of the whatever. There were a few little things like that I actually think did make the controls better, even if you use the classic style of your controls. So that was all good. It was a challenge to get used to the new skill tree and the new combat system, but it actually was better once I finally adapted, or started to adapt at least. I could appreciate it more at first. I was just really, really frustrated, but it was just different, There is an updated cop system, law enforcement system, so the cops will come after you. It actually does add some challenge to the game, and it's fun. I liked all of the voice acting. I don't think there's anybody I didn't like. Overall, I really enjoyed the voice acting for the new characters. I liked the addition of some additional lines. And CD Projekt Red, one thing they did great with Witcher 3 was everything you did really did somehow affect other things. So if you went to this place before you went to this place and you asked about this place, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, but if you did this before that, then they would know it, even if it didn't really affect the plot of what you were doing at that point. Like that, it was very immersive. That was cool. I enjoyed that. You had a little more chatting options with Johnny throughout the game, so that was improved. I like that. Overall, I liked it. I liked having additional missions. I liked having some new story to conquer. There was like the opening part of Phantom Liberty when you're trying to rescue the president was pretty like heart pounding. I got really into that. I was really excited. I was like, here I come to save the day. I was ready to swoop in there and save the day. I love it. That's why I like playing video games. I'm pretty not heroic in real life. And in a video game, I get to be that way. It was overall, it was good. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something I wanted to mention that I'm forgetting now. There were lots of cosmetic additions. I liked that. Some new clothes, new cars, new hairstyles. Not a ton. I actually would have expected to see more than I did. There were like a few bits of clothes then added in lots of different colors. But I would have liked to, I basically want to be able to play The Sims in every game. Like I want to be able to customize a ton. So I would have liked to have seen more, but I did enjoy what was added. So overall, good, lots of pros. But let's talk about the cons. So I have a few, and one of them is very significant. I have one con that's very significant. I'm going to save it for the end, but it was significant. If you follow my channel and you saw the short, you know what's coming. But I have some little cons as well. One would be, unless I missed it, there was not another like significant romance added with Phantom Liberty, which is not a huge deal. But I would have liked to have just another option, just because I like romance. I also, one of the things that I was hoping I would see in the 2.0 update in the expansion would be to be able to have people to your house. In some of the trailers, or at least one of the trailers, I remember seeing like V had a guest at her apartment in the trailer. That is not a thing that has ever come to fruition in the game. And I would like that. I'd like to be able to I have these really nice apartments. You spend all this time and money buying these apartments and at least decorating your main apartment. And then, there are other apartments to buy and they're fun. I have one that's really nice. I love the Glen apartment, you guys. That's my favorite. There's a pool table. For what? Ain't nobody coming over play pool with you, because nobody comes to your house at all. Nope, none. Nobody. And that was disappointing to me. Driving still sucked. In fact, I think it sucks worse now. I could be wrong, but it feels like it sucks a little worse now. It could just be I'm not used to it. Y'all know I'm a bad driver in video games. Like, I know there's that stereotype that women are bad drivers. I don't think I'm a bad driver in real life, but I definitely am in video games. I totally am that stereotype in a video game, and I'm not even mad about it. It just is what it is. Back in the old days when I used to actually play online, the guys would be like, let us drive. And I'm like, okay. So any change, of course, is going to make that very difficult for me. And it did. So it's sad, but hilarious at the same time. Which leads me to my next con, which for some people I think will be a pro. All of this is all a matter of taste anyway, but this in particular is a matter of taste. I did not enjoy the car stealing gigs. So one thing that was added, and I don't know if it was the 2.0 update or Phantom Liberty, but one thing that was added were all these new gigs where you could steal a car for El Capitan, a car or a motorcycle or whatever, and then you would have to drive it really far though. Like the gig would require you to take it maybe, I think the furthest one I saw was 4 kilometers. I'm like, that's a haul in this game, right? That's like all the way across on the other side of the map. So usually I'd come across the gig and I was close to where I was supposed to be for whatever objective I was already working on. So if I take the gig, it's going to take me really far from my objective, and they're only there for a limited time. So if you don't pick it up right then, eventually the car just drives away on its own, and then you can't pick up the gig anyway. So then I would pick up the gig and I can't drive. So that's going to be a number one. I got to go 4 kilometers and I can't drive. This is going to suck for me. There's vehicle combat, which again, some people are going to love that. They are going to love it. And I'm glad. Okay. I wouldn't want them to take it out. I suck at it. I literally would just park the car and get out and fight on foot rather than try to fight in the car if I had an option, because I'm that bad at driving. So, and then some of the quests would be you had to get the car wherever you need to take it within a certain amount of time. And so there's a little timer, and I don't do good with a timer. Y'all know it freaks me out. I can handle it though, if I can handle the mechanics, but when I can't drive anyway, I am never going to succeed at these. Now I could finish them to the point that I could turn the car in, but I would always get El Capitan going, you screwed that up.
You got the assignment fee. Gonna have to dock your payout. I guess it'll do, V. Maybe switch up your game. Try a little harder next time. My man will take care of the rest.
So I actually just don't pick up those gigs. I just don't pick them up. I just don't do them. Now, again, that is a personal taste thing. It is not for me. You could tell they put a lot of time and effort into adding these to the game. And I'm sure there are some people who really enjoy them. And it is a good way to make money. If you can do it, it's actually a good way for your character to make money. I just couldn't do it. A pro that I forgot to mention, I'm going to slide in here, is the music. I really did want to mention that too. They added a new radio station to the cars or apartments, wherever you are. CD Projekt Red had a contest for fan-made music, and they selected 13 songs and put them in this radio station, and it's awesome.
Right in the edge of this town in the smoky haze and dimming lights, flying away, I want to stay with you.
The music is good. I've really been enjoying that station. So that's a little pro I forgot to put in when I was doing my pros. So I'm going to slide it in now. I'm not good at editing, so it's going to stay right here in the middle of the cons. Sorry.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
My biggest con, and it's a big one, has to do with the new ending. So there are some variations on the ending, but there is one big new ending that's added to the whole game that is a result of the Phantom Liberty storyline, depending on the choices you make, of course. And all your other choices, if you play the rest of the game normally, are also available to you. So you have all of the options plus one. I was mad. I did not enjoy this new ending. I would go as far as to say this is now the worst ending. I used to say the Arasaka ending was the worst ending, but I think this one's worse. I think this one is worse than the worst. I did not like it. And what's frustrating is there would be an opportunity. And I'm going to put this in a separate video. I'm going to do a separate video just detailing with all the spoilers why I hated this ending and what I thought would have worked better. But I won't do it in this because I want this one to be spoiler free. But I will say I did not like it at all. There was not really any part of this ending that I liked. Almost nothing. There was one tiny little piece of it that almost seemed like not worth it. So, yeah. And it's long. It's long. It's like they put like real work into it. You know, kudos to the good job there. But I didn't like the writing. I just didn't like how the story ends. If you choose the Phantom Liberty ending, I didn't like it. I was not happy.
Emotional damage!
Well, let me put some context behind why this was so traumatizing. It's Friday night. I'm almost done with the game. I decide I'm going to power through and finish the game Friday night because I don't have to work on Saturday morning. And for the first time in weeks, I don't have something to do. I don't have to be anywhere. I can sleep in a little bit. So I'm going to stay up and I'm just going to power through and finish this game. And I did. It was like 2 a.m. And I was so mad that I could not see straight. And I was tired because I'm old and 2 a.m. is very late for me. So first I made my mad short, 30-second short, talking about how mad I was. And then I'm like, I'm thirsty and I'm upset. So I'm going to go get some tea and get ready for bed. I went and got the tea. And then I came back to my room and I was just huffing and puffing and still annoyed. And I accidentally kicked my foot into the leg of my bed. And I heard the bones crack. 2 of my little toes. And of course, then I went flying. My phone went flying across the room. The dogs are traumatized, trying to figure out why I'm sprawled out on the floor and yelling, ow, ow, ow. And yeah, I'm pretty sure those 2 toes are broken. Which, I'm Gen X, you know. I think one time when I was young, I thought I had broken my toes, and Mom's like, they can't really do anything for you anyway. I mean, unless they're like pointing in the wrong directions or something. They're just going to tape them up. You're fine. Just put a little ice on it. It's fine. So I put a little ice on it. That just was like the cherry on the top for that bad ending. I was so mad. I'm still mad. I'm still mad. Like, I did the Arasaka ending one time and I hated it and said I would never do it again. And I haven't. And I've played through this game like 10 times. I will never do this ending again either. Nope. Nope. No. Nada. Never again. No. There's my review of Phantom Liberty, the Cyberpunk 2077 expansion. Overall, it's good. I would buy it again. I think it was worth the money and I would recommend it. I would, however, say you might want to avoid that ending. But I would recommend the expansion overall. I think it's good. I think that the update and the expansion bring a lot to make Cyberpunk 2077 a more robust game, like what I think they envisioned from the beginning that didn't come to fruition, unfortunately, with that terrible release. So that's all good stuff for the most part. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Again, I will be making a separate video to go into detail as to what I struggled with that ending, but it'll be spoilerific, so it'll be separate. Anyways, leave me some comments. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, all the stuff you're supposed to do out there on the internet. And thanks for sticking around. That's it for now.